So you are somewhere around here, you think?
So I can't see any like smoke from any kind of village or anything when I look
Well, let's see.
around.
You could probably see the smoke rising in from what you assume is Terran off in the distance.
Okay. All right. What about above? What about above me?
Like above
From
up
where
the
I'm at?
mountain.
Yeah. It's just
Like are you wondering if you see this town here of Raishir?
no. So I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm just saying like, do I see any smoke? Because I wouldn't. I would. I wouldn't necessarily assume that that would be Terran. I would just say, okay, there was a village down there, and then what's above me.
You
Is
would
there any kind of
yeah. Looking around, that would probably be the only smoke that you can see rising.
okay? All right. Okay. So, what are you gonna do with the rest of today, there, Breddard?
Oh, well, the day's almost over, so maybe look at the stars, look at the clouds, sing a little ditty.
That sounds good. I'm very weak and need to heal.
Well, luckily none of those things really require any much energy. If you'd like to, you're more than welcome to join me.
Well, that sounds like a great thing to do.
Delightful. So you can join him out amongst the stars, and it's a rather interesting experience. He points out a number of constellations that you probably had no idea what they or why or what they were named that for. And each one of them he has a wild story for, and some of them sound believable, some of them don't, and some of them really don't sound believable. Uh, in fact, especially the one that he points up and says is named after him sounds a little fishy.
I like it. Do you think there's a star named after me up there?
You, what's your name?
It's Eric.
Oh, Eric. Is there a star named after you? Nope, couldn't be. But if you do something truly memorable, I'll put in a good word for you. And you see that little spot of darkness next to mine? I'm sure that might be available real estate.
All right. It
I'll
sounds
put in a good word with my neighbors, huh?
I'll have to. That sounds good. I'll have to do something memorable then.
Delightful. And then you can't just die either. You have to do something memorable and then come tell me.
I'll have to do that. Uh, I think I'm gonna go inside and clean my weapons and sharpen them, and if that'll be okay with you.
Oh, you do your own thing. Enjoy. Don't mind old Brennard.
All right.
All right, so you go
So
inside and yeah.
yeah, I wanna clean the sword, clean the axe, kind of tidy everything up, sharpen it. Can I do that, or do I need to
Yeah.
watch
I mean,
that?
you'd use a whetstone on it. It's more like using your maintaining maintenance and up up upkeep skill. So you do go to kind of clean off the weapons, and you notice all the weapons look like they have been cleaned. There's no blood on them, and you go to see if they're sharpened. And I mean, you do use your whetstone on it, but they seem like they have been maintained since you've been passed out.
Okay.
And I assume you're going to rest for the night.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, so you rest for the night, and as you finish with your weapons and drift off to bed, you can still hear Breddard out chit chatting, and it sounds like he's having conversations with those people, because you hear those names again that he brought up and introduced you to, and right before you fall asleep, you swear you hear several other voices talking to him, but then you're asleep. Everyone can get a day of healing for what they've done, and since we're with Eric, the next morning, Eric, you wake up feeling a little bit better. What would you like to do? Or what would you like to do that next morning? You see Breddard is already up and going about. It looks like he's just doing daily chores. He's sweeping.
I want to take a walk around his hut.
Okay. Hey, watch out! That's my dirt pile. I'm sweeping.
Oh, sorry about that. And I'll step out of the way. Maybe go to the lakes right there.
Yeah.
So maybe go to the lake and wash up a little bit.
Okay.
Yep. And uh, not really do a whole heck of a lot because I'm still pretty low hit point wise. So and not feeling great. So I think just kind of some self care and just trying to regain um, my equilibrium. And maybe while at the lake, say a prayer to Falkor, just thanking him for um, granting my life and granting me my life. Yeah.
Okay. So the rest of the party, you guys have marched for your half day. You set up your first day of camp, and you guys pushed on. And this next morning, you push on. So as you're going through this next day, everyone roll a tracking check.
Yeah, I'm the best.
Better than me, definitely.
All right, so you guys are continuing along this path, and Hawksuk, you're walking along, and you're it kind of the road peters away from the river just slightly, and you see fallen down amongst the rocks, you see a torch.
Hold up. Hold up. Someone's been through here. And so I'll get closer to the torch and take a look at it. It's probably burnt out for a long while now, right?
Looking at it, it looks like it was never lit, and it looks like it's kind of like fallen down the slope a little bit, and you kind of track it up to the the kind of just a little area offside the road, and it looks like there's been a decent amount of activity. You see with your tracking check, it's a difficult tracking check. You see what looks like several footprints. You see wolves have come over this area, and it looks like someone partook in battle here and then collapsed. It also looks like someone came along and dragged that body away back in the same direction that you guys just came from.
There's only one logical conclusion by all this, says Soxis as he stands up and puts his hands on his hips. Some wolf master is here and dragged some poor innocent soul off.
What, master?
Wolf master, you don't remember the stories? You know, of people who turn to wolves, can control other wolves, and hate sunlight.
You mean werewolves?
Well, no, I mean wolf masters. Gosh, don't you know anything?
No.
But look, there was a struggle here. Someone's been taken off and they've been taken that way. The wolves didn't actually seem to help. That's interesting. They're not going the same direction. Suspicious.
Maybe they had their fill.
Maybe. So what, do you think this last person decided to get the last bite?
Mhm.
Maybe he did a proper burial then.
Let's hope so.
Still, this is what we got. Maybe we follow it.
Let's do that. Well, the others prepare the position, I guess.
What day are we on again?
This would be the third day.
So this is the day we're going to get ambushed, if they're on horseback chasing us.
All right.
Wait,
Potentially.
did we screw up?
No, this
Well, maybe.
you would be attacked.
No, not mathematically. Remember, we were supposed to stop on day 2, set up a camp, and build our defenses, so that on the day 3, if we were attacked, we would be defended. So why are we still wandering on day 3?
Yeah.
You guys said you were going to push on for half a day and then go for one more day and then set up a camp.
Sorry, I think I set up the whole, we wander for 2 days, build a defense, and then wait for the attack on day 3, and just assumed everything was going to plan. I pulled the supervillain move, where I literally walked away and assumed everything was going to plan. And now you
Nope.
say we're still wandering on day 3, so it's like, okay.
No, this is day 3 from when you arrived in Tavern. So this would be your second
So
day
this
out
is-
from Tavern.
Right, so this is the day, by the end of it, we should stop.
Yes, that's the one. And
Because-
so what Hawksick and Orble just suggested is that Elka and Araman stop and begin setting up those defenses, while those two follow their path.
Right, because I'd hate to have a whole party wipe the moment that we find Eric. Like, woo, we found Eric. Now we're all dead.
Eric is the new party. Who wants to play Breddard? We also have Morgan. We have the one created out of poison ivy. We've got
Morgan and
What is this just the story of Breddard?
Martin, Lucille.
All about how
So-
his life got turned upside down.
you guys are push on a little bit and create you guys start setting up those defenses, Elka and Armon, and Hawksick and Orble start tracking this back down. So you guys follow it. It goes for maybe 30 minutes. You follow this drag path that's right along the edge of the road, and it then pulls down towards where the river is raging below you, and you see there's a log jutting out across the river where an enormous pine tree looks like it's fallen and collapsed at such an angle that it might be possible to cross, although it looks very dangerous, especially to be dragging a body.
Mm.
Whoever did this was crazy.
Whoever
I'm
it is
not
probably-
doing it.
Whoever it is, that might not be far away.
Yeah, but just look at that river.
Hand me my rope.
All right. I'll start tying you up.
Thank you.
All right, so
And-
you're tying a rope around his waist, I assume,
Yeah.
and then where's the other rope going?
A nearby tree trunk or something.
Yeah, nearby tree.
So give me a ropes. I think it's rope use check.
Oh boy, I have that for sure. Oh, actually, I do have good dexterity, so I'll roll.
A perfect knot. You're a born sailor. So you tie up Orbital fairly tightly. You tie it onto something nearby. We'll say, I mean, especially with a great roll on your rope use, you find exactly like there's a large column of rock sticking out that's perfect to tie him off right there. So you give him that, and what would you like
Orbital,
to do, Orbital?
I
You
got
have a
bad
rope.
news for you.
What?
You're never getting your rope back.
The
What?
knot's
Not.
too good.
It's perfect. It's a thing of beauty.
I take
It's
out my knife.
tangled and chaotic. I
I
can't
take
look
out, I
away.
take out my knife and go like, well, I get less of my rope back, but it's still good enough. And I carefully make it across, and once I find a cross, I'll try to tie it up somewhere else so that the rope is.
Roll a feat of agility. It's
that would be-
it's up by dexterity, and there's a little button that says FOA.
Oh, okay.
Sure is. Into the water. Into.
So you have a 13. I got an 11. There's enough. There's some branches jutting out, and you start. You make your way across. It's close. There's a little spot at one point where you feel a little nervous. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. But you make it across to the other side, safe and sound.
Well, I
Okay.
do this thing. I find another pile of rocks and tie the rest of the rope there.
All right. Make an observation check. So you've undone this rope around your waist, and you're looking around to try to find something to tie it onto. And as you're looking around, you look down and you see lying in the rocks at your feet is a hand axe.
Hmm.
It looks like it's kind of fallen in amongst some rocks, and you just see kind of the handle sticking out, and maybe it's the sun that catches a glint off of it, and it looks like it's fallen. Like it looks like you wouldn't have seen it unless you were really looking.
I pick it up.
You look at it, and it's got the handle is nothing to write home about, but the axe head of the hand axe is amazing. It looks like it's been carved carved and detailed with decorations that make it look like a phenomenal axe. If it doesn't cut well, it's at least an amazing thing to look at.
Oh, since it's a hand axe, I put it in my belt. It's like to check this out later. Maybe the
Okay.
priest can do some Monju jumbo on it or something.
I wonder if you'd recognize it as a little bit of the loot from that crypt. And in fact was his axe.
Yeah. I don't. Maybe I do. I'm gonna do it in check. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Make an intelligence check to see if you recognize it.
Yeah. Check.
Yeah. Finders keepers.
So I tied up the rope.
So you tie up on the other side, and
Mhm.
Hawksick, what would you like to do? You see, you now have this rope across the river.
Let's give it a go with 20.
Yeah,
I believe it's
easily,
actually
especially
impossible for it. And then
With-
it made it too easy.
with the rope that you have over there, it's easy peasy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you're over on the other side now.
We'll do
Oh,
more
that's a
tracking
slightly
then.
better bridge.
Yeah, roll tracking checks. The two of you. You're able to pick up these tracks because this person looks like they're dragging someone behind them, and it starts to kind of wind around. You're moving in a northeasternly direction, and this path just seems to wind along these foothills. How long are you willing to follow this track?
Oh, how close are we to sundown at the end of the day?
You guys had encountered this after, the late morning. So by now it's probably noonish.
A couple more hours. I don't want to cross that stream in the
Yeah.
dark. Yeah.
All right. So you continue following these tracks for a little bit longer. Can I have Hoxic roll an identify traps check? And Lessons, can you roll a survival check?
Oh, wouldn't you know it? I don't actually have that skill.
Wow.
I think this was back when I assumed there was going to be another rogue. What
That's
is
okay.
identified traps based off of?
Don't worry about it because Orbital made the check. So
Oh, wonderful.
you're walking along this path, and Orbital, you take one more step, and you're right about to put the next one down, and you look and you see there's a rope cleverly hidden on the path that you follow. You look and you follow it up, and it leads up into a nearby snag, and it looks like if you had stepped in it, you would have been swept up by the foot.
Okay, this is what happens. Because I got a very good roll. I'm about
Okay.
to step on it and go like, whoa. And then my hand instinctively goes back. But normally, if I were somewhere mid-sized person, I might hit them on the chest or maybe in the stomach.
Mhm.
But because I'm with a dwarf, it smacks him in the face and like, bruh. Here.
And that's why you weren't able to roll Hoxic, is because you just get a face full of hand, a face full of hand.
Oh, sorry.
It smells worse up close.
Hey. And I point to his, and I basically, I guess he doesn't have to kneel as far. Like, I point out, like, you see this?
Oh. Someone set up a hunting trap.
Well, actually, that's a man trap. Unless, you can't really catch a wolf or pig with this. They'll break the thing. But a person, yeah. Someone doesn't want visitors.
Someone might be expecting visitors, yeah. Exactly. So I guess we should be a little more careful then. Tell you what. I'll work around this. I'll go a little further ahead of you. And hopefully I'll get the drop on anyone who might be playing the most dangerous game out here.
Yeah.
Right? So Oxic is entering into sneaking.
Okay.
And I step over because I don't want to, but I step over gladly so there might not be like a pit on the other side. Right? It's like, oh, hey, you missed the obvious run.
Yeah, you give it a little bit of room so that there's and you can even inspect. Roll a. I think. Let me double check. I always forget.
As a GM, I actually done that.
I have as well.
Yeah.
I've been looking at a module lately. What does it do? It has 3 pit traps in a row.
I've done something like that before. Roll observation checks, just so you can check to see if there's pit traps behind it. Yeah, you give a good look over on the other side, and you're fairly certain there's no pit on the other side. It doesn't look like they were that cruel. So, Hoxic, you said you were going into stealth mode. Can I have you make an opposed hiding and sneaking check?
Okie doke. So let's hit hiding first. And then we'll hit sneaking. Ooh, all right. I'm really sneaky today.
All right. And okay, so you guys are continuing along. Hawksick is in a little bit of a stealth mode, and you're continuing along this path. As you're going along, you hear a whistling.
Hmm.
It doesn't sound like someone whistling for a dog, but as you listen, it sounds like a catchy tune that you might have heard at a tavern. It's coming from like a little bit down the hill and in the forest.
Sounds like a little bit of excitement.
I put my hand on the axe, but don't draw it, right? Like, carefully in it, and I carefully, make my way there, eyes wide open, I suppose.
Yeah.
See
Definitely
who-
trying to get closer to the source of the sound.
All right, are you also going into stealth mode there, Orbital?
No, I'm being careful, but I'm not being stealthy. I want the person to see me. That way we can have
Okay.
a conversation, right? So, from a distance. Rather than I don't want to be surprised trying to do a sneak roll, and I don't want to surprise the person and have them act violently if they feel that they're being attacked.
That makes sense. Yeah. So it requires you to scramble a little bit off this path and down the slope into some of the more wooded areas below, and you get down and you're looking into a small clearing. And from behind, you see someone who's wearing a leather cap with a feather sticking out of it, and a number of like a hodgepodge of different furs that make up like a cloak and then all of their clothing. And you see, it looks like, I mean, you'd recognize this easily, Orbital. It looks like they've caught a rabbit and they're in the process of field dressing it.
I clear my throat. Like,
Oh yes, if you know the lyrics, feel free to sing along. And he continues whistling.
Excuse me, sir. I am looking for a friend of ours.
Oh, well, I hope it isn't this guy. And he raises up the rabbit.
No, not the rabbit. About yay high and about wide, full of muscle.
So not the rabbit.
Not the rabbit, no. Human.
Yay high. Oh, human. Oh,
Wounded, perhaps.
I don't recall. Why are you looking after this fellow? If you don't mind me asking, after all.
A friend of ours. Friend of mine.
Friend of yours. Roll a persuasion check.
I'm trying to be, as truthful as well, I guess we're not technically friends, but we're companions. But I'm not trying to lie either.
Yeah. It's opposed, so make sure to hit that opposed roll. The number to beat is a 54.
You said, what was the roll?
A persuasion.
Persuasion. Oh, yes.
Well, I can't say I've seen many humans around these parts. Maybe some hunters, maybe some trappers. I mainly keep to myself, though.
Well, he might be wounded, and we want to help him. You've probably seen some tracks around here.
I have. You see him look around. Come here, quickly.
I close distance.
All right, he like leans in with him and the rabbit. Shh. I think you might be in danger. You might be in danger. I think you are being stalked. Are you not the only one looking for this human?
There are others, yes.
Well, be careful. I think one of them is nearby.
Oh.
Yes, I smell dwarf. What the rabbit
Oh.
said.
Hmm. Is he looking in a particular direction?
His eyes, he's kind of like looking around, and he uses the rabbit and he perks it up and he like moves it in that direction. Don't look all at once because he might notice. But the rabbit will keep an eye on him. Make sure he doesn't try anything funny.
I do the very obvious, careful looking, like, oh. And I probably look directly at Hux, is like,
So
Here's the
Hawksick,
question, did he look in my direction at all?
So Hawksick, you're sitting in the bushes, watching this go on. You see Orville get up to him, and you see him huddling with this guy, and you see the rabbit perk up with his hand, and the guy like move the rabbit so it looks in your direction, and you see Hawksick like, oh, do like one of those looks he just described. Maybe not quite in your direction, at least, not necessarily where you are.
Right. Interesting. Well, I'm keeping my eyes on him, and it doesn't look like he's pulled a weapon on Orville yet. So, I mean, it seems like Orville's doing pretty okay.
Looking at him, he doesn't look like he has any. Like you might see like a hand axe at his side and maybe a knife on his belt, but it doesn't look like he's got like anything major. Like he's not carrying a spear or a shield, or it doesn't look like he's even wearing like any traditional armor.
By the looks of it, just a hunter. So yeah.
Yeah.
And I asked the guy with the rabbit, is there anybody else who lives around here?
Oh no! All that you see is mine.
Oh.
And I will permit you to travel on my territory.
Well, thank you, my lord.
I see no lords around here.
Oh, these are your lands, right?
Yeah, duh.
Well, then, the lord of this land, right?
Nope. I'm no lord. I am Breddard.
You're Breddard. And I extend my hand. Nice to meet you. But Breddard, if you happen to see a friend or what's left of him,
I'll keep my eyes out for sure.
Yeah, we are looking for him. We need his help.
Now, you be careful, okay? You watch out.
We have to go back.
Now, this might be for your safety, but I'm going to give Mr. Tubbs to you.
He's handing me the dead rabbit, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
He'll watch your back.
And I think to myself, and my belly. But yeah. Thank you.
Good luck.
Same to you.
And he starts whistling again and walking off on one of the paths.
And I look, it's probably, getting to be close to evening. So it's like,
yeah.
I don't look at where the general direction of where Hux is. Like I just whistle and sort of walk back to the.
And your shadow follows.
Yeah. And we'll get to the river. I'm sure we join up at the log. It was like,
yeah. So you rejoin there. Meanwhile, Eric, you're sitting at this. You're resting. You're doing things to try to recover from these grievous wounds you've taken, and Brennard comes back in. It's starting to get evening, and you see he's got several tubers and other assortment of gathered herbs. And he cries out, "Ah, good evening! I've gathered us some food for supper. There was a rather strange fellow out there. He stole my rabbit, but little does he know, my rabbit's keeping an eye on him. It's good news. Good news for you."
Good news. Um. So do you have the rabbit?
No, no, no. I gave away the rabbit. From what I hear, some people are trying to hunt you.
Trying to hunt me?
Yes, yes. And not just one, but several.
Did they
Now,
ask for me?
well, yes. A rough-looking fellow. And he wasn't alone either. I think they might have the entire woods crawling with hunters.
Are we going to be safe here?
Oh, easily, for sure, of course. But yes, I saw a dwarf, little
Okay.
scraggly of a dwarf if I've ever seen one. I don't think he was from around here. They usually at least comb their beards, and then
A dwarf
now,
looking for me.
yeah, and one of those hobgoblin fellas.
Goblin. That that doesn't sound right. That sounds more like my friends. Are you
Well,
sure?
I don't. Well, they were your friends.
Well, if it was a hobgoblin, I don't know that dwarf that well, but uh, there was a dwarf. So if it's the hobgoblin and a dwarf, that's not who's hunting me.
Oh,
And I think,
well.
can you take me back to, well, where you saw them?
I did give them that rabbit. What about tonight? Did you want to go tonight?
Well, I guess you brought all this food here. I guess we can eat and
Oh,
maybe.
delightful! I love the sound of that. Never travel on an empty stomach.
How about we go in the morning then?
Oh, well, after breakfast.
Sounds good.
Delightful.
Wonderful.
So,
What can I do to help you?
ooh, chop some of that wood, and do you know any good songs?
I don't sing.
Ah, that's a shame. I've had this body tavern song stuck in my head, and all I've been able to sing recently is "Get Low."
I don't know.
So, you guys have that interaction. It's a lovely evening there once again, and meanwhile at camp, Armon and Elka, you two have been setting up and trying to build some sort of defensive position alongside the road. What are you trying to do in building a defensive position? I heard there was talk of stakes,
No, it was Palisades. Those are different.
of an. Oh, right, a palisade. So you're going to make an entire palisade.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys have started chopping down trees to make a palisade, or how big of a palisade are you trying to make?
No, it's a very. I don't know what Elka thinks of defensive measures, so I don't know if she's planning to help me or she has her own thing.
What are you doing, Elka?
My mind, I imagine them as kind of small.
your mic is up.
Sorry. Yes, we can make a palisade. It's just gonna be a lot of tree chopping, though.
Well, I mean, I have a axe.
All right. We
I have
can do that.
I have a thing that's half axe anyway. I don't. I have an axe hammer.
All right. So you have an axe. I do not.
I mean, you could be taking turns chopping, and then you could be doing more manual labor trying to move things around.
Yeah, I can assemble it while he chops. And...
Okay. So, Hoxic and Orbital, you guys arrive into this scene where Elka and Aramon are trying to do what they can to build some sort of defense for this camp. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I started a fire because we need to eat, and once I get the rabbit cooking, I'll join the preparations.
I'll keep a little bit of a lookout for you.
And I tell him about the old man.
Now, this old man, he definitely seemed a little twitchy from the distance I was at.
Oh,
He
he's
didn't
crazy.
try nothing, did he?
Nah, he's just crazy. Crazy in the
Crazy.
usually in the harmless way.
Crazy enough to drag a dead body over a log to his camp? You asked him about that, right?
Well, no, I asked him if he found a friend of ours who was wounded.
Ah.
I didn't want
Well-
to spook the old man, so.
Well, I'd say tomorrow we go back and spook him in force.
And he spotted you, by the way.
Yeah, I kind of saw a bit of that. Not sure he actually got eyes on me, but,
Well, he told me he was being watched by a dwarf. So, unless you have a twin around here, he spotted you.
well, not that I'm going to tell you if he's still hiding out there in the woods.
Hmm.
But I think I'll go join him for a little bit.
Do that. You have
And
to have
Hoxic will just fade backwards into the shrubbery.
Okay, so you're just going into the darkness.
Yeah, I'm just taking a watch so that if I see anyone approaching, I can warn everyone. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. So that night passes by as you guys are trying to do what you can. You kind of collapse into exhaustion after working as long as you can. How is Armin doing on hit points?
I think I've got two. No, I'm at 1 wound. Because I was using my own cure negligible wounds on myself every day, except for the last one, which I didn't use on anybody, I guess.
Yeah. So it sounded like
So if it's a new day,
yeah, it is a new day.
I would like to select my spells before,
You can.
Good idea.
so that way we're not just like in the middle of combat and like, oh, I'm just gonna use what I'm using. Let's see. What is the difference between this and that?
So there was talk between Hoxic and Orbital about going after Breddard again. Is that what I heard?
That's what I'm thinking, and I'll definitely make that petition to everyone.
So as soon as Lessons gets back, we can talk about that in character.
Exactly.
Now that he's out of prison, is Hoxic doing anything more for his appearance, or is he still unkempt as always?
Oh, he's completely unkempt. This is his natural state. There's just slightly less blood on him now.
Right, because I always forget that you're a fighter thief. I keep thinking you're just a thief, which is why I asked about the I was a little surprised you took the studded leather and medium armor.
I figured I probably just want the survivability right now, but the bigger shield doesn't really hamper me very much. And it counteracts at least the defensive penalty of wearing the heavier armor here.
That's true. The one thing that's going to be difficult, I think studded leather does give you a penalty on a bunch of stealthy skills. So
It might. I'd have to go take a look at the
I think it's
chart.
a
I
5%.
think.
I think it's a 5% negative on studded, where leather
Yeah,
doesn't
I figured
have
it wouldn't be too far out of range.
Also, I've made my spell choices. I was
Yes.
just thinking about picking up the ones that give you like bonus to attacks or whatever like that, but that's all for weapons that are in the wheelhouse of the bless you. Weapons that are in the wheelhouse of the religion, and nobody's carrying those but me.
Mhm.
So
you
not
could cast
helpful.
them on yourself,
Yeah, but I'm not
but
a
you don't want
fighter.
to be in combat.
Yeah. Specifically, why I was trying to recruit people with my
Oh.
plus 50% recruitment that I have. But we couldn't stay in town long enough because y'all are criminals.
Huh, yeah, Stud Leather's
Says-
actually 10 to
Says the
15%
one cleric.
from all this stuff.
Says one cleric? Yes, I am only one cleric. If I was two clerics, it would be impossible.
No, I meant as the one cleric in the party that's drawing anti-religious attention.
Now,
Well-
who's to say he's the only one? What if I've been hiding it the whole time?
Yes,
Fighter, cleric,
as
thief,
the...
multi-class.
But no, I mean, as the one drawing attention, you say, as we're being chased down by people who want them for crimes. I'm bringing
That's true.
attention down because I threw myself face first into a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So it's welcome back, Lessons and Dennis. We were talking a little bit about the equipment stuff that Hoxic had picked up. But we were also talking about what you all planned to do for the next day, because I believe you and Hoxic had discussed going back about after Breddard again.
Right, I think we need to go there and show him some real dwarven hospitality.
Like a plan. I guess I was too soft-spoken.
No, that's fair. It's always good to approach with a little bit of caution until we know what we're dealing with.
Does everyone want to go, or just the two of you?
Oh, I'm suggesting we all go together. This little defensive position is nice and all, but no one came. So now what?
True.
Well, if they were to arrive, they would probably arrive today or the next day.
I think someone should stay here. Maybe me and Ariman.
So I guess just back to us two then, trying to beat up an old man.
And they say we're the good guys.
Who said that? I'll beat him up. I'll show him who's wrong.
It's that 5-year-old.
I'll get him.
So you split. Is that that decision then splitting up again?
Yeah, we'll take
Seems
most of
so.
the morning, but we'll make sure to be back in the afternoon. By if we're too, it takes too long to find wherever here he is, or by midday we'll come back. We don't want to be like the whole day off, and we'll have to run back to to try to save the day or something. Which, considering us, that's not going to happen. But still.
So you trek off and start setting off that morning. You track back and you make your way across the precarious bridge, and you're kind of rounding the hills and kind of turning more northward. And as you do, you see down coming up the path is Breddard and Eric.
Eric.
Horrible.
Breddard!
Ah!
4. Sure. Horrible. Horrible.
Is that the game now, say?
Yes. So the old man found you, huh?
Huh?
He sure
Who's
did.
old?
Brought me back.
Eric, I
That's
need you to
pretty
walk
much it.
carefully towards us. He's a Houndmaster.
He's not.
Houndmaster.
He's
What are you talking about?
we saw but you had an encounter with some wolves or something, and he started thinking that
Yes.
this person could transform into a wolf or something.
Think carefully.
Yeah.
Did you see any fleas? Did you see him scratching himself with his back leg?
This, and I put my hand on Breddard. This is a good man right here. By Falkor, he is. I wish he'd come with us.
If you say so. Got my
Well,
eye on him.
Well, we have a camp. Back this way.
Right?
The rest of
I
them-
have a
You
camp
see?
back that way.
Good for you.
You see, Breddard, these are my friends. They came after me after all.
Where?
They're right here.
Oh, good
We
heavens!
we came looking for him, not after. That sounds like no. Never mind.
Quite an unusual turn of event. Eric, watch out! Those are the men hunting for you.
I got it. Listen, tell Martin, Lucille, and Morgan that, I'll have to come back and visit you all. But I'm gonna go with them now.
He clasps your shoulders. He looks you in the eyes. Travel well, and be careful.
Thank you. Thank you for all you've done for me. And I clasp him, give him like a forearm shake. And
If you ever need me, you know where to find me.
of course. Thank you again. And then I'll join up with the other two.
Be careful over the log. We tied him. It's a bit slippery.
Yep.
How the hell did he drag you all over there? Mystery for
So-
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's a little trek back, but before long, all of you are back together at this camp. Eric, you see that they have passed where you fought those wolves, and just by a little bit, and they've started setting up some sort of position. You see they've felled a few trees, and it looks like they're trying to set up some sort of wall along the side of the road.
So what's going on? Did you find my brother?
We
I asked
found
yeah.
we found the bastard, the kid that kills. Sorry. We found
Kid
the
that
bastard
kills.
that killed the kids. And we killed them.
Okay. What about my brother?
We lost track of him.
We did not find your brother.
We came back looking for you. And
Yeah.
well, we found you, but the tracks keep
Yeah.
going to, and I pointed in the general direction where down the road. But while we were in town, there were some rumors about, well, you see, and I started explaining the battle and what happened and, the spells that were cast and all that. It's like, and in conclusion, the survivors went to the town, told the Lord about it, and the Lord sent a runner to the other town to get, I suppose, get reinforcements, maybe talking to the witch hunters or something. And we decided that it wouldn't be practical to be in town and try to fight it out there because, could easily set out of fire. So
When I was in Tavern, they told me that these witch hunters took Karamikos to Bashan. So that's where I was going when I got ambushed by those wolves. We should forget this and go to Bashan. Why not? Why build a wall? What for?
Well, we were expecting that they were going to get some reinforcements and go after us. We tried to put a defensible position, defend ourselves, and then after the battle, keep carrying on. And if we could get some prisoners, then we can interrogate them and tell them exactly what the hell's going on. Because it seems they're pretty coordinated. That fellow, that murderous bastard, he was working for the assistant to the lord of this other place. So he was well connected. Or at least he was able to convince him that he was just another mercenary. And he gave him troops. And then if he was the one who sold your brother to the witch hunters, then yes, there's something more afoot here. I'm sorry about your brother, but
he could still be alive. I mean, I saw them take him away in the wagon. At least I think I saw him being taken away, and I want to go to Bashan, but I don't. I mean, didn't you say you killed the guy that did those things to those children?
Yeah, but remember you were not with us. He was leading a patrol of the Lord's men to go to the border of Slen. The fact that they trusted him with his own guards, very, very fishy. With just some random, random bandit lord.
So what do you want to do?
My guess is all this is connected. They were probably waiting for your brother.
Okay. He could still be alive, though. Why not save him and then figure out what to do next?
Well, we didn't want to be run down on the road by horsemen, so that's why the defensive positions. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to wait to see one more day if they show up. If nobody shows up, then we just leave this place like it is, and we go find your brother.
Okay.
That way we make sure our rear is covered. They don't run us down on the road with the horses, if they have them.
Okay.
And we don't get ambushed. Make sense to you?
Okay. That makes sense to me, and I'm still very weak, so I need a lot of time to heal.
Yeah. A day will do you good. Can I check his bandages and see how well are they well put up? Like this person seems to have
yes.
someone who.
Yeah, it looks like he's been well tended to along the process. It looks like his wounds are healing quite well.
An excellent job here.
It was definitely someone more skilled than you, but maybe not the best first aid you've ever seen.
I'm not ashamed to admit it. Like, yeah, they kept you alive. Good job. I complain about that.
He saved my life.
Oh, there you go.
I owe him. Well, okay.
Maybe we're just keeping you for later.
Yeah, maybe.
For what?
And I'll just give a slow turn of my head towards Armon. What do you think?
No, that's what I'm asking.
Well, I don't want to invite the bad luck. Keep a mouth shut.
Oh. Okay.
So,
well then, we're all back together again, except for your brother.
True. So for the rest of the day, yeah. So for the rest of the day, you guys are gonna keep you start preparing this even more. You're doing your finishing touches and you're waiting to see if these witch hunters are gonna come
before your big reveal of them not showing up. Does Orbel look bad? I don't know what his situation is health-wise, and I want to not know mechanically. Does he look bad?
Yes.
Orbel looks bad?
Yes.
Alright. Well, he's anointed now, so I will heal him.
All right.
Okay.
You can when you have your spells, by the way, you can put if you put the brackets around your numbers inside the spell details, when you hit cast spell, it will do that amount of healing.
Will it? All right,
Yeah.
hold
So
on
if you
one sec.
did the bracket, yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
so if you ever have a spell, you can do that sort of stuff and it'll
Oh, there you go. You
Yeah.
heal for 3 hit wounds. Hit wounds, that's what we're calling them now.
Hit
Yeah,
one,
so one of your wounds heals for 3 hit points.
Since you're anointed.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been 1.
No,
The
you.
best possible result.
Thank you.
Luckily with this spell, you don't ever get the awkward situation where if you weren't anointed, you would have healed more.
Well, as you can
But-
tell, the duration is permanent. He cannot lose those 3 hit points. He is immortal now. That's how I choose to read the rules.
Oh gosh, now we have to go back over what immortality is good.
But
No.
yeah, so surprisingly, the big reveal is the witch hunters did not arrive today.
Who could have called it?
What?
Shocking.
So the next day, you guys are all getting up. You expect that they're either going to arrive today or never, or maybe the next day if they're on foot. What are you going to do in the morning?